Hi, I'm Nathan. If we haven't met, I'm the production director at First Friends Church here in Canton, Ohio, and I want to give you a tour of our live streaming setup. So we have 4 primary PTZ point tilt zoom cameras that we're using here at First Friends. They are these PTZ Optic cameras. On the back, we have an SDI line which runs video from each of the cameras to the switcher, and we also have a network and Ethernet connection. This one is receiving power over Ethernet through this Ethernet connection, and we're also controlling it through the network connection. So we've got this one here right down front. Our other cameras are mounted up on the wall over there, and we've got 2 on the back above the main door in the center. And yes, as you can imagine, the footage from this one looks way better than the ones that are shooting 90 feet from where our front of house position is to our stage. So right behind me is our stage. We're kind of in our gym, so it's kind of a mobile, portable setup. This pull-out section opens up, and that means that our actual band members are more like 110 to 15 feet back. So we put this camera here, we moved it from the wall, put it there because it's a lot better being really close to our setup. So, okay, on the stage, I want to show you 2 things. We have 2 Marshall cameras. These are these little point of view POV cameras. And these little Marshall cameras do a great job of allowing us to see the keys player. There is a single SDI line coming off the camera, as well as this data connection. So this one port, if you're not familiar with these Marshall cameras, gives us a little thing so we can move the menu settings. And we also get power off of this, and then there's some serial control off of this, and then there's an audio connection off of this. So these cameras are great. I've got it mounted on a Manfrotto arm and clamped onto this in-ear monitor stand. So that works really well. And then our second one of these is on the drum kit, which is over here. And you can see it, well, you can't see it. There you can see it. It's also on a arm with a clamp. And then the Marshall camera is looking over the drummer's shoulder into the drum kit. So it provides a really good angle for our live stream so that we can show what's going on, and it's a really fun angle. Okay, let's go back to front of house, and I want to show you that. And then we'll show you the control room, which is where we control everything, which is back there. And then our front of house is mobile, and it's right there. So because we do church in our gym, our chairs don't get to stay up. So the crew is in here putting all the chairs up today and getting ready for Sunday. It's kind of nice because we don't have any sports in here from Wednesday to Sunday this week. So we have gone ahead and kept the wall open. There's this mobile wall that opens and closes right there. But we're able to keep it all up. And now we're putting up chairs on Thursday instead of Saturday because there's no sports happening here this week. Okay, fun. So here is our front of house position. We've got these 2 carts. So our front of house console, we actually don't utilize it for our live stream. We have a dedicated console which receives all of its inputs via Dante through the network from the stage boxes solo in the control room. So we'll get to that in a minute. We've got some information, and here's a multi-view for our lighting position so that they can see how their lights are affecting the camera, different camera angles. So there's that drum camera we were looking at, and then the other angles are just looking at some different things. There's the piano angle we were looking at. Our lights, we click through cues for the different parts of the service, and you've got all of our cues set up here. But if we do need to do any fine control of the lights, we can definitely do that. We can definitely update and change those different settings that are happening. Color changes throughout the service. Lighting's kind of a whole nother conversation, so it's probably best to leave the lights for another video. ProPresenter is right here running at front of house. We've got our volunteer operators running this through the service. We're using my ProPresenter 7 template. So we've got the multi-view from the template. So in the top left of the multi-view, you can see the main output that goes to the projector. And then we've got our stage display output, and then we've got our live stream lower third output. So in ProPresenter, we're actually utilizing a Decklink Duo 2 card. So we've got 4 outputs coming from ProPresenter. 2 of them are the key and fill. The key and fill allow us to key and fill the image so that we can get a nice transparency without having to use the green chroma key. The chroma key is great, but it's really nice to be able to utilize the key and fill with the ATEM switcher. It just makes it cleaner. The other 2 outputs are the stage display, and we have a full screen output. So how we're setting this up is slightly backwards, but it works. If we had one more SDI line from front of house to the control room, I would be able to change it a little bit. So we've got the key and fill for the live stream, but then we've also got a full screen graphics output that goes to the control room. So why I'm doing that is the full screen goes to the control room and then gets sent out to the projector through the auxiliary port, and that's really nice because that allows us to send the switcher. So in an ideal setup, I would use the key and fill outputs from ProPresenter going to the ATEM to send all of my lower third content that needs that key and fill. And then the full screen output, I would just send full screen graphics. That way we would have two different to switch between full screen graphics from ProPresenter and lower third content from ProPresenter. But I can't do that because like I said, I've got the content coming from the output of ProPresenter to the switcher to the projector. So I would have to have a fourth SDI connection, and I don't have that many SDI runs going to the switcher. So that is the ProPresenter setup. Let's go to the control room now, but I do want to mention one thing. We have a StreamDeck here at front of house, and from here we're able to change between program and ProPresenter for the output to the projector. I can also turn the projector on and off, and I can turn the HyperDeck recorder on and off from right here. I actually automated that recently, so that's kind of exciting. But okay, let's go to the control room. Welcome to the control room. We have our audio, broadcast audio, we have our PTZ control, and we have our ATEM switcher here. So let's start with the middle section. So these are our PTZ Optic IP controllers. So we're able to connect to the IP address of each of our cameras, and we're able to move them left and right and up and down. My biggest complaint about the PTZ Optic cameras that we have is their lack of control ability. If they would upgrade their hardware, which then I would complain about their video quality too, but the hardware is definitely the biggest problem. Like, I'm trying to slow pan right now, and if I just go too close to the edge, I get that little glitchiness, or it just goes whoop, and then you get some really bad looking stuff. So it's not optimal, but I guess you could say it is what it is, but it is what it is. Utilizing what we have is so important. Being a good steward is not just only true in the church world. No matter if you're working for a company, ultimately you're spending someone's money. Just for me in the church world, we're spending people's direct donations. We have to be a good steward of that money. And that doesn't always mean spending less. Sometimes that means spending more. So one of the things we've really been doing to utilize what we have and make the most out of our PTZ Optic cameras is we've been utilizing a StreamDeck. So let me give you a rundown of that. So I've got 4 rows, row 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see camera 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of them are assigned a row. So now all of my presets are inside of here. So if I want to go to the percussion on camera 1, I click percussion, and now it goes to camera 1. If I want to go to piano on camera 3, I probably shouldn't have gone to piano on camera 3 because camera 3 is in program. How do I know that? And make it red. So I'll only go over here to the switcher, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How awesome is that? These are something I set up recently. They're called feedbacks inside of the StreamDeck. And they basically look at the ATEM and say, hey, what camera's in program? Am I in program? Yes, I am. Let me change my color to whatever other color I want. So all of the different presets on here are really nice because you really have to utilize the presets. So the primary way that we're able to utilize the StreamDeck is by optimizing the preset functionality. My initial idea was let's set up camera 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then all of our presets are set up on here. So let's see, sermon close is preset number 1. So you go to camera 1, you go to preset 1, and you hit enter. And there you go, it just changed. But now all you do is go camera 1, sermon close, and now it changed. Let's go to sermon wide. Let's go on camera 4 to sermon. Let's go to background vocal on camera 3. Let's go to percussion on 2. And let's go to bass on 1. So everything changes, and all I have to do is use this basically a graphical user interface to make sure I'm doing what I want to do. So that's how we're kind of utilizing the StreamDeck. This is still necessary because it's still important to be able to lock focus and be able to move stuff around manually. It's a little bit easier with this if you have one versus using the StreamDeck buttons up, down, left, right, but you could totally not have one of these and just use a StreamDeck. This computer here is controlling our StreamDeck. So I've got a program called Companion from BitFocus running on this computer, and if you look at this, you can see the interface, the layout of the actual StreamDeck on the computer, and that's how this works. If you're not familiar, you just click on the button, and now you're able to go down to the bottom right side and see what it does. So this is recalling a preset number 9 on camera 2. Cool, you can also rename it and everything there. One other thing to note about the Stream Deck is that I am utilizing StreamDeck satellite on the front of house computer. So if you go to page 1 and 2, you can see pages 1 and 2 in my companion software. But if I go over to page 10, I can see what is configured on the front of house Stream Deck. So if I just go ahead and click on, let's see, projector, for example, shut it off, it'll close right off. Same as pushing the button, I can just hit test in the software, but I'm doing that on the button for the front of house Stream Deck, not on this Stream Deck. The other thing we're utilizing this computer for is our live stream. So this is Resi. We have a Resi Ray encoder right here. So our live stream output from our ATEM switcher, the output of the stream goes from the switcher to the monitor to the encoder. It's kind of another level of security to make sure that we're not making any mistakes, because if it gets to the monitor, it's going to the encoder. But then we're able to monitor it on here during the service. One of the coolest features of Resi is its ability to start the live stream encoder before the actual stream starts. So it can start encoding, and I have it set up for 60 minutes before the actual stream starts. So we're able to verify that there's content going from the encoder to the internet, to their servers, and now we're able to send it to our website, to Facebook, and to YouTube every Sunday morning automatically, because it also automatically starts streaming to these destinations that we've pre-set up. Okay, let's go down to the ATEM switcher. In this rack here, we've got our ATEM. This is kind of an older ATEM switcher, but it works pretty well. It doesn't have the scalers, and it doesn't have some features that I would like, but what do you do? Again, we're working with what we have until this dies and we can get something new. This is our switcher. This is a audio, rack-mounted audio device. It's got 2 speakers in it, so we can monitor the audio levels right here, and then we can listen to it also, which is really nice. This is a hyperdeck, so we're able to record the program to an SSD drive, and I've actually got a button here set up so that we can now start recording on the hyperdeck. And actually, new for this coming Sunday, I set up this hyperdeck recording button to automatically start recording and stop recording when it's time. So there I started it, and there I stopped it. So it'll automatically start and stop the recording when it's time to every week, which is awesome. Down at the bottom here, we've got this quad multi-view. So all 4 of the PTZ Optic cameras are going into that box, and then the output of that, it's really cool because with one HDMI cable, we're able to show this feed on any monitor we would like. It's kind of like the multi-view, which is being generated from the switcher that goes to that screen right there for the live streaming audio person, as well as that monitor front of house that we were looking at. We also have a couple speakers in here to help our team know and hear what's going on. This is one of the older ATEM control surfaces, but it does a great job controlling the network switcher. If we ever get a new switcher, we probably won't ever get a new one of these. Hopefully this thing never dies so that we never have to get a new one. If we ever do get a new switcher, I will replace it with a Constellation 2 ME, and that way we'll be able to control the second ME from a Stream Deck, which will work just fine. Okay, so now let's go down to the audio side of things. This is our Allen & Heath SQ5. This Allen & Heath SQ5 gets all of its audio from our stage boxes over the Dante network. So we've patched everything to here. So we've got this console set up with our entire band, worship team, all the mics we need for the live stream, audio from the computers, and we're able to adjust everything here inside of this console. And then the output of this console, it comes through the master, and the master goes to the ATEM switcher, and on the multi-view here we're able to see and monitor the levels. We've got some music here coming in on an iPad that we play music pre-service, so it just sits there, and let me unmute that, let me push the audio levels up. Oh, you can hear it. So if I take you over to the multi-view, I can turn it up, and then there you go. So you can see I've got good audio levels from that music that's playing there. So I'm just gonna put that back up to where it was and mute that audio. But this way we can in real time monitor the output to the switcher, so we can bring it down, bring it up, depending on what the audio levels are doing. We've also got these 2 near field monitors so that we can turn these up and down right here to hear what's going on in the room. And I forgot to mute these last night, so we'll go ahead and do that. So that is pretty much our live streaming setup here at First Friends Church. We're kind of sharing this room with our sports ministry that happens throughout the week, so it's kind of crazy, but that's what we're doing. That's what's going on. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments on this video, and I would love to help explain any of these items or anything we talked about in this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.